All right. So Facebook campaign objectives. These are there's a bunch more than this, but these are the main ones I would say. There's a PPE or page post engagement. This is when you boost a post basically. The objective is to get likes, comments, and shares. This is one that a lot of people actually don't really use. I personally, in my strategy, I like as soon as I make an ad, I immediately do a PPE on it to get the likes, comments, and shares for the social proof, because that'll actually bring down your costs on your conversions or your clicks. If there's and it basically happens in stages. Like once you hit like 100 likes, you'll see that your costs will go down a little bit on your conversions. Once you hit 1,000 likes, you'll see your cost goes down even more. Once you hit 10,000, goes down even more, and so on. The more people that have already liked, commented, shared, etc., the better. So I always run page post engagement on a new ad. Now, if and the bonus is that usually you will get some sales and whatnot too. And sometimes I've actually had page post engagement campaigns outperform website conversions and website clicks. I wouldn't say that it happens often, but it can happen. Next would be video views, and if you're running a video ad, I would recommend trying it a few different ways. You're going to want to try it as a page post engagement objective, and as a video view, and possibly clicks to website or website conversions. But video views works great. Page likes, you guys all know what this is, just to get likes to your page. Most people would consider this kind of useless, but actually if you're having quality problems, high negative feedback, stuff like that, by actually running a page like campaign, you're bringing in new users to your page. That'll actually help lower your negative feedback. So sometimes popping on a page like campaign can actually really help you out a lot. Also, Facebook limits in the news feed, if they're not a fan, if the person you're advertising to is not a fan of your page, you can only show them an ad twice a day in the news feed. If they are a fan of your page, you can show them 4 ads a day. So there is some benefit to having some page likes. Now, clicks to website. This one does well, typically, if that's your objective, and there's not a lot of data in Facebook. Like, let's say you're promoting something like super random, like 6th toe removal or something crazy like that, I know Lorenzo from Stack That Money ran that a long time ago, actually, but if it's something that Facebook doesn't have a lot of data on, then website conversions isn't going to necessarily help you, because they don't have any conversion data on people with 6 toes on 1 foot. And I've seen clicks to websites sometimes outperform website conversions. Usually when I set up a campaign, I'll set up the same exact targeting, all that, in a website conversions ad and a clicks to website, and I'll let both of them run for the first 2 or 3 days. Whichever one does better, I just keep that going and pause the other one. Generally, it's the website conversions, but a lot of time, maybe 25% of the time, the clicks to website actually does better. Website conversions, obviously, that's probably what most of you guys use, where it is optimizing for the actual conversion. Now, a couple of little tricks that you can do with this actually is instead of, let's say you're doing e-com, instead of optimizing for your purchase, you could optimize for like your add to cart, for example. Because Facebook can gather data a lot quicker. Let's say you're doing lead gen. You could, instead of optimizing for your thanks page or your lead, you could optimize for step 2 of your lander, for example. This feeds data to Facebook a lot quicker, and then you can kind of actually like do a little hack, so to speak. Once you have a lot of data, let's say you use step 2 of your form for the optimization pixel, you can actually, after you have a lot of data, switch it to your lead pixel. Not duplicate the ad set, but literally just change it on Facebook. And they're going to basically think that you should get leads for a little bit more expensive than that. They don't know how much more expensive, but since it's already partially optimized for the step 2s, typically you're going to get those leads for cheaper than if you went to optimize for lead right off the bat. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, I'll go over these next few ones and we'll do a couple questions. Okay, brand awareness. This is one that I have used actually for the Mass Tort class action stuff. This comes in handy if you want a low frequency. Right in Facebook, you can't choose your frequency. You can't, choose a frequency cap and frequency, for those of you that don't know, is how many times someone sees your ad. On display or some other ad platforms, they let you choose like a max, 2 frequency daily or 5 frequency daily or 5 frequency weekly or whatever, right? Brand awareness lets you have basically just a 1 frequency. So if you just want to show your ad to a lot of people but only once, you don't need to show your ad to them multiple times, then brand awareness is a great way to go. To hit it like a very broad audience quickly. If you're running anything with lead gen, lead ads are great. They typically will cut your cost in about half on average. Now you're going to have a little bit lower quality typically, but Facebook has done a lot better of a job actually making the continuity of their lead ads better. So the quality is getting better, and they're definitely still working on it. Product catalog or dynamic product ads. This is mostly used for e-commerce, and this is so that let's say you have 1,000 products in your store. You don't want to have to set up a retargeting ad for 1,000 different products. That would just take forever. So instead, Facebook has dynamic product ads where you can basically just upload your product catalog. Choose you want an ad to show to everyone that viewed a product. And then you can make a dynamic ad where you use like placeholders, basically like product name and quotes. And then it automatically will show anyone who viewed that product. Anyone who viewed that product will automatically see that product in their ad. If they viewed a different product, it'll automatically show them that one. So you don't have to set up like 1,000 different retargeting ads. And typically you're going to see a really good ROI on this.
So on the lead ads, is that the ad that goes directly from an ad to a pop-up kind of? To
a lead form, yeah.
It's a lead form within the Facebook environment, right?
Yes.
So have you found that those are actually effective?
Yes. The quality is usually a little bit lower. You have like a lower contact rate and stuff like that. But the cost is typically so much lower that it works out nicely.
Even before sending them to like a pre-sale advertorial? And even like a lander, just sending them, keeping it straight in Facebook. I seen that the cost was really high for me when I tried it. But that was a while ago. I know that they've been.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot better with it. Your quality is going to be a lot better if you go off-site, like to an advertorial or something like that, than to your form. You're going to have better quality and and whatnot. But because they don't have to leave Facebook, Facebook charges you a lower CPM.
How do you track that though? How do you can't track that with the volume or
you can throw a pixel on a thanks page. It lets you choose the thanks page.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, all right.
Okay, now with dynamic product ads, these aren't only for e-commerce. Let's say you have a company that has a lot of. I'll get you in a second. Let's say you have a company that has maybe 20 different services you offer, like maybe you're a social media marketing agency or. Maybe you're a co-working space and you have all sorts of different packages and whatnot. You could actually set up a product catalog with your different spaces and options, so you could automatically retarget that as well without having to make a bunch of different ads. So there are other uses for this outside of e-com that most people don't use it for. Last one would be local awareness. This is typically for local businesses, like a gym or a bar or whatever. But it also works for pay-per-call. If any of you want to try pay-per-call on Facebook, you'd want to choose the local awareness objective because it allows you to put a phone number in and have them just do a click-to-call basically. Okay, questions?
So what would you recommend for, let's say, a completely brand new ad account to kind of, warm it up, let's say everything's compliant. It's complete white hat. Would you go with page post engagement? Would you go for page likes?
Okay, so what I would do is I would immediately set up, first I'd make the ad. I'd probably do it as a published post right on the page. I probably wouldn't do unpublished. It's just a hassle. I like published posts typically, but so I'd make the ad, or I'd do like maybe 5 ads, different images, different little, different ad copy, etc. Then I'd immediately boost all those posts, all 5 of them, to a kind of a broad audience. Let them run for a day, maybe 2, so that I have some likes, comments, and shares on them. Then I would set up the website conversions and website clicks ad or objectives at the same time, with a bunch of ad sets in each one. Then I'd give it a couple days, and whichever one's doing better, just get rid of the website clicks or get rid of the website conversions, whichever one is not doing well, and then scale up the one that is doing well. Now, a lot of times, I'll personally leave my page post engagement running for a week, maybe even 2 weeks, just to really crank up the social proof, because I found that brings my cost down a lot on the actual conversion objective. So I use PPE quite a bit. A lot of people never use it. Yes.
What type of budget do you allocate running broad and PPE, or just in general running broad to capture that data?
Good question. It depends on if you're doing multivariate testing in the background, how many variations you have. It depends on your CPA, but like rule of thumb would be that you're supposed to spend about 3 times your CPA on any given targeting before you give up on it. So if if you're trying to get leads, let's say you're doing diet or whatever, and it's $40 CPA or something, you'd want to spend ideally around $100, $120, something like that, on any given targeting or ad before you give up on it. And as far as how much to allocate, like what I usually do is I'll allocate 10% of the overall budget in the beginning to page post engagement. So if I'm spending $5,000 a day overall, I'll spend $500 a day on page post engagement just for the first week, typically. Then I turn it off. But then if you see your cost starting to go up, but your CTR is fine and your conversion rate's fine and everything's fine, and you're like, why is my cost going up? Facebook is so weird. Nope, it's not really. It's because your engagement hasn't kept going up with it. So once you turn your page post engagement on, typically your costs will come back down where you want them.
Can you integrate multivariate testing within Volume, where you can see the data within the Volume interface? Is there a plugin or something like that?
You could probably pass it in with JavaScript. I don't know. I don't use Volume. I try not to use any click trackers personally. I just try to use Google Analytics and Facebook and custom dashboards, because I don't like throwing things through affiliate links, or just because I don't want my account to get banned just because it has AFF sub equals, and even though it's fine, there's nothing wrong with it, but I try to avoid as much of that as I can. So I don't know. I know that you can pull it into a custom dashboard with JavaScript. I just don't know if you can with Volume or not.
Gotcha. Thanks.
On the page post engagement, what does the creative look like?
It's your exact ad, whatever your regular ad is. You just literally run a page post engagement to that as well. Because then instead of optimizing for clicks or conversions, it's optimizing for people that are really likely to like it and share it and comment on it.
So it still links off to a lander of some kind?
Yep. And you'll still get clicks, and you will still get some leads or sales, and sometimes you're actually profitable on it, which is awesome. And if you are profitable on it, usually you can scale that really well, because you're getting that engagement plus those clicks and everything too.
Thanks.
Okay, you mentioned if, let's say we're in one niche or one product, or I guess one offer, right? And we want to go into something totally different, but we have to make a Facebook fan page for that and all that stuff. If I'm going to do something that's totally different and my original fan page has nothing to do with that, I mean, that fan page is going to have a zero, there's going to be, no fans to begin with. There's no people who like it.
Right.
Would you recommend, I mean, I know you mentioned, do the page likes, objectives and all that, but have you seen, kind of like a decrease in conversions because
Totally,
of that?
yeah. A lot of people will hover over your page name in the feed when you have an ad, and if it says 30 people like this, yeah, you're going to have a pretty bad conversion rate. So usually if it is a brand new page and brand new ad account, I will start with page likes as well and at least get it to 1,000. You obviously see bigger gains if you have 10,000 likes or a lot more, but I found that 1,000 is kind of like the minimum threshold. So usually you'll pay anywhere from 30 cents to 50 cents a like. So I'll spend that $500 or whatever, and get those 1,000 likes right in the beginning, and then from there I just leave it off as long as my quality and stuff is good, because you get likes organic, through your website conversions ad and through your page post engagement. People will like your page, so you get likes that way too. But yeah, I usually do start it off with the page likes as well if it's brand new.
So kind of piggybacking on where Naveed was going, and in the beginning of your presentation, you're talking about with an ad account, don't change up the offer or the vertical very quickly.
Yeah.
Would you say there's a certain time frame you can wait, or
Oh, no, don't. You can't ever change it.
Just start it, open up.
Yeah, like let's say you're running, teeth whitening or something, and then you decide not to run that anymore. Now you want to run jewelry. And, unless it's the same store, done. That ad account is done. Unless you ever want to run teeth whitening again, but you'd want to like literally pause everything, even delete it if you don't think you're going to use it soon, and just leave that ad account sitting there and don't do anything with it. Maybe use it as a backup if like shit hits the fan down the road, and tell your rep, whatever. Because the thing with Business Manager is they let you make typically 2 ad accounts right off the bat. And by the way, you're allowed to have 2 business managers on each personal ad account. So for those of you that only have 1 business manager, you should make another one. Make your 2 ad accounts, and then ask support to increase your ad account limit to either, usually it's 10, 100, and 1,000. And then make every ad account you have and just call them like client 1, client 2, client 3, whatever, like placeholders. Because once you get one account banned, even if it's for something stupid, in Business Manager, you can't make any new ad accounts. But you can while everything's good. So while everything's good, make as many as you can so that if one goes down, it's not a big deal to wait 3 weeks to get it back, because you could just start running that same thing on a new ad account, as long as you're not doing anything bad, But and the rep will understand that. Say, my client can't wait 3 or 4 weeks to get this stupid issue fixed, so we're going to set them up on this ad account. And the rep's like, okay, no problem, because it's not an ad account that was ever used for anything else. But once you do use it for that, then you got to keep it for that. But yeah, make as many ad accounts as you can, because you never know when you're going to hit that red flag, even if it's temporary, and you want to make sure you just have extra ad accounts lying around is always helpful.
You mentioned clicks to website and website conversions. Do you wait to season the conversion pixel before you switch over to website conversions, or are you just running both at the same time?
Instead of waiting for more data to come in off the pixel, I'll usually start it off optimizing for, again, like step 2 of the funnel, or like an add to cart if it's e-com, or something so it's getting data a lot quicker. For example, let's say you have maybe like you're doing leads, and maybe you have like a 5% conversion rate of people that get it all the way through, right? Well, you might have like a 50% conversion rate of people that get to step 2. So you're feeding data to Facebook 10 times faster, right? That's 50% of the people compared to 5% of the people. So you're feeding data to Facebook way faster that way. I found that typically website conversions will do really well right off the bat. It's not always the case, but that's why I always like to run conversions and clicks to website right in the beginning, and then again, just get rid of the bad one after, whichever one is the bad one after a couple days.
On that same topic, I wasn't clear on the steps of that. So there's, let's say, steps 2 and 3. You're putting the website conversions pixel on step 2 and then moving it to step 3, or you're having...
I'll usually go right from step 2 to the lead, like the thanks page.
Yeah.
But you could do it in stages like that, yeah.
Okay, so I guess I don't understand what he was saying then, as far as, like, what was the process that he was...
He was saying, like, do you wait, do you set up the website clicks first, basically, and then, like, wait till you get pixel data before setting up the website conversions, because that's optimizing on the pixel? And no, I don't wait, no. But for your question, yeah, you'd want to just, again, you want to put the pixel, like, closer up in the funnel, so that Facebook, gathers data a lot quicker in the beginning.
And then
slowly move it out to where it should be, so to speak.
Okay, so move it from step 2 to step 3, for instance.
Or, yeah, if it were me, I would go step 2, just gather a little bit more data than you maybe normally would, and then go right to the lead.
Okay.
With the lead ads, is that where you can like pre-pop their information? That is what that is?
Yep. It's where the form is like built right into Facebook.
Right.
So yeah, it grabs automatically their name, email, phone if they put one in, whatever data they have in Facebook, it automatically fills it in for you, or for them.
Got it.
No? All right.